What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a quick and fun duel for you guys to check out. Looks like we got Lightsworn, or at least a Lightsworn variant. I'm gonna just call it Lightsworn at the top, and it's gonna be dueling against Orcus. We did see Asian Persuasion 2008 actually end up topping a regional in like the Midwest area with Lightsworn, and you're starting to see variants making a little bit of a comeback. Obviously, there are things like dangers that can go on the Lightsworn, some of the new support that got released in the rocket structure that can work in Lightsworn, and really just you can kind of throw anything in the Lightsworn because milling or excavating is such a great mechanic that so many cards can take advantage of. You're going to kind of see why Lightsworn is never really technically a dead deck. These cards like Solar Recharge, Charge of the Light Brigade, dumping all those cards into the graveyard. I think that Orcus are up first. This seems like a pretty good hand for Orcus, getting to the Dark Grepher that can get a bunch of cards in the graveyard. Could have even thrown the Orochi in the graveyard to just special summon it. Instead is going to normal summon it. Okay, fair enough. Going to get the Orchestrated Crescendo, go for the Dengirsu, and I'd say that that's a pretty solid turn one. You got two very big beaters on field. You have your Infernity Barrier plus Rota Search and the Crescendo, so it's not bad. But the Lightsworn player obviously has a lot of ways of getting deeper into their deck, and they're going to fire off a Reinforcements of the Army themselves. Gonna play a fairly new card in the Chaos Betrayer. This is from Dart Neostorm. It is a card that can just summon itself straight from the graveyard by just banishing some light and dark monsters. So, you know, this card is actually pretty good in my opinion. I think we'll see more play in the future. The opponent is going to drop a lot of danger monsters here. Usually that means Link summoning, and even Chupacabra is going to summon Bigfoot from the graveyard. The BLS will be met with the copy of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, and luckily they did have Dengirsu on the field. Otherwise, something would have almost certainly got banished. Gonna go for Curious, and this is the most interesting thing because I don't think the Orcus player expected this. So Curious Effect is going to try to activate, and they are going to use the Orchestrated Crescendo. That seems pretty reasonable, right? Your opponent wants to dump something into the graveyard. You're gonna be like, nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and banish that. But little did they know that will actually trigger the Curious, and that gets them a free copy of Monster Reborn. And I was like, oh hell, that means they're gonna go into Zero Boros, and now they can activate Monster Reborn to obviously trigger its effect and get the Armageddon Knight at the same time, dropping their own Gizmek in the graveyard. So now we might have a little bit of a Gizmek or a Gizmek ward here. Let's see if Zero Boros is something the Orcus player will be able to get over. Going to use the Galatea, I guess, to trigger it and just get it off the field. And then that opens up the way for a couple of attacks. Fair enough. Oh, no, wait. That's right. They have Gizmek. They can just block the attacks. So that's not going to work. Gonna go for Dengirsu. And I'm going to be honest here. I really questioned them summoning, the Dengirsu in attack mode because we know that Topologic Zeravoros is going to come back. And the card is going to get progressively stronger because both of these players keep using freaking Gizmek. So they're increasing the amount of banished cards, and I kind of feel like summoning these in attack mode might actually be, it might end up losing them the duel. So Zeravoros is going to come back at 8,600, gonna activate the copy of Orochi on top of that, and Zeravoros is really starting to shine. I've heard some rumors about Orcus players starting to put the card in their deck and taking out things like Topologic Bomber Dragon because, you know, while Bomber Dragon can destroy cards, you know, Zeravoros like banishes them, and obviously it's the entire field, not just monsters. And plus this guy gets more, like it progressively gains attack equivalent to, you know, both players banish cards. So you can even take advantage of your opponent trying to use things like Desires and Gizmek Orochi themselves. Obviously he can just one-shot his opponent through the Gizmek Orochi, and that's pretty damn impressive, man. You know, both players playing Gizmek Orochi, there's one card that can capitalize off of that, and didn't even matter that he had the Dengirsu protection. It was not enough because you still take the damage. Shout outs to Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed that quick duel, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.